So lastly, in terms of coronavirus, there's a growing sense, I think, that this could be both a major public health crisis and a public, just largely broadly a public crisis. I think there's also a lot of people are starting to realize like this is going to be a political crisis for somebody. And the question is, who is it going to be a political crisis for? It should be a political crisis for the Trump administration and the Republicans that prop it up, cutting the CDC budget instead of expanding it, dealing with things like, climate change. We don't know to what extent climate change increases the virulence of viruses and whatnot. Here's John Kennedy from Louisiana, Republican, trying to make sure that he's not one of the guys who's going to get blamed for that. I mean, that's what this is, right? This is, both exposing the incompetence of the Trump administration. And remember, Democrats will be out there and saying, like, the reason why this guy is acting DHS head and is such a rookie is because Mitch McConnell and the Republicans in the Senate, people like Susan Collins, people like Cory Gardner, people like Martha McSally, people like Tom Tillis, people like Sonny Perdue, or the Georgia Congress people, senators. They're not doing their job in making sure that the Trump administration puts in competent people because the Democrats have no power to do anything about this. And here he is talking to Chad Wolf, the acting, maybe one could say the pretending head of the DHS.
Do we have enough respirators?
To my knowledge, we do. I'm focused on making sure that our operators at DHS make sure that they have the protective equipment. And I know HHS, as part of the supplemental.
Well, we just heard testimony that we don't.
Testimony from?
In a briefing.
Okay.
So you're head of Homeland Security.
For medical professionals or for sorry, I don't understand the question. You're head of Homeland Security.
Do we have enough respirators or not?
For patients, I don't understand the question.
For everybody, every American who needs one who gets the disease.
Again, I would refer you to HHS on that.
Mr. Secretary,
my budget supports.
You're supposed to keep us safe.
My budget supports the men and women
you're
of the Department of Homeland Security.
You're the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Yes, sir.
And you can't tell me if we have enough respirators.
What I would tell you is that the budget, my budget, our operations are focused not only on the men and women of DHS, making sure they're protected to do their jobs, to screen individuals coming in. We're working with HHS, CDC, and their budgets
know the answer, do you?
to ensure that they have enough medical equipment.
Do we have enough face masks?
We, for the Department of Homeland Security, we do.
I'm not asking for the Department of Homeland Security.
Are you
I'm asking for the American people.
For the entire American public?
Yes.
No, I would say probably not.
Okay, how short are we?
Probably not.
I don't have that number offhand, Senator. I will get that for you.
Okay.
Look forward to that.
But I want to be sure I understand. Somebody
Yes, sir.
is doing modeling
Yes, sir.
on how many cases we're anticipating. You're
Yes, sir.
just not aware of that.
You're asking me a number of medical questions that
I'm asking
CDC
you questions
and
because you're
HHS
Secretary of
are
the
focusing
Department
on.
of Homeland Security, and you're supposed to keep us safe.
Yes, sir.
And you need to know the answers to these questions.
And
how far away are we from getting a vaccine?
in several months.
Well, that's not what we just heard testimony about.
Okay.
Who's on first here?
HHS is the lead federal agency for the coronavirus response.
You're telling me we're months away from having a vaccine. That's your testimony as Secretary of Homeland Security.
What I have been told by HHS and CDC, yes.
And have you probed that to make sure that's accurate?
Yes. We continue every day. We have task force meetings.
Yeah, right. Lying. For those of you who are not my age, that who's on first, what's on second. Do you guys know what that is?
I do. I seen this in a doctor's office once on a poster.
That's so sad. Huh? Marx Brothers? Wrong. You just did that on purpose, right? Okay. Michael, do you know what it is?
Laurel and Hardy.
Wrong.
Oh, really?
Jamie?
Something my mom likes to do as a bit.
Abbott and Costello. Abbott and Costello.
I
figured she got it from somewhere.
We have the briefing that was referred to where we heard that the we're very close to a vaccine if we want to hear that.
All right, here's the briefing.
Those with Ebola, when they were brought here, were quarantined, and all the Americans also survived, right?
But the
Pause it. No,
level-
this is not that briefing. This is it. What?
I was just joking. This is a Trump thing.
Oh, okay,
It's not
okay,
the
okay.
secret
So-
briefing. This
okay.
is Trump at a press.
This is Trump at a press conference talking about how prepared we are for the coronavirus. Yeah, how close we are with a vaccine. Now, we've just heard the Department of Homeland Security, acting Homeland Security chief, say we're months away. Now, I honestly don't know if that means we're 3 months away or if we're 45 months away. Because if you say months away to someone, you could mean either.
Those with Ebola, when they were brought here, were quarantined, and all the Americans also survived, right?
But the level of death with Ebola, at the time it was a virtual 100%.
But none of the Americans who came here.
There's a very good chance you're not going to die. It's just it's very much the opposite. You're talking about 1 or 2%, whereas in the other case it was a virtual 100%. Now they have it. They have studied it. They know very much. In fact, we're very close to a vaccine. Please go ahead.
Yeah, he's lying. Good, close to a vaccine.
I think 7 months, 9 months is very
We're close to a vaccine, not one for coronavirus, but we're actually it could be a vaccine. Mention this.